Okay, so Assalamu alaikum. I hope you are doing well. So today we will going to discuss about the units. We will also going to discuss the unit conversion. Okay, and we'll also discuss why we need the unit conversion. Okay, so first of all, what are units? Okay, so units. I have written the definition as units are like labels we use to measure things. Okay, like how tall you are, how much water is in a bottle, or how far you can jump. For example, you have let's say you have a roller, okay, like this. So usually on a like roller, we have different units, right? We usually have centimeters written, okay, and we also have inches. You can see on your ruler if you have. So inches will be written here, or maybe the centimeters will be written here, okay. So like in order to measure anything like the scale, you can say you need to measure your height, you need to measure a distance between your school and your you can say home. Okay, so let's say you are here, you are like standing here, and from the wall you are measuring the distance. So this can be you can label this number. Let's say you have 25 what, so we will use the units 25. Look at, you can say meters. Okay, so there are multiple types of units. Sometimes we use feet, sometimes we use inches, liters, cups. Okay, there are multiple things and there are multiple units for those things. And similarly, let's say let's take an example. Let's say if you are measuring a height, and let's say this man and his height is, let's say, 5 feet 11 inches. Okay, so we can represent this height, which is 5 feet and 11 inches, into centimeter as well, into meter as well. Okay, let's say I can write this is basically also equals to 180 centimeter. Okay, and this can also equals to 0.18 meters. So like the usage of the units, because for measuring the length we have different units, inches, meters, feet, but in different company like countries, in different organizations, they have their own you can say standards. Sometimes in USA they use feet too much. Okay, in Pakistan we use meters, and you can say in UK or Europe they use for weight, for measuring the weight, they use pounds. Okay, but in Pakistan or in our countries we use kilograms, grams, right? So there are multiple units, and the usage of these units varies with the countries. Okay, that's the thing. So and there is a one more fact, which is, let's say if you are representing the height with feet, so it is much, you can say the value is much smaller. 5 is much smaller, right? So you are saying 5 feet 11 inches, this is very easier to say, right? But if you are saying 0.18 meters, right, so this is not an appropriate like type of number, 0.18 meter. So usually we use those units which are appropriate in our case. Okay, because the lengths of these units are different for, like you can say, for different objects, right? So we will use that unit which is more convenient for us. Okay, so in this case, in measuring the height, we can easily use 5 feet 11 inches. We don't need to say 180 centimeter. Okay, although we can say that, but 180 is a much bigger value, right? So it is much easy to say 5 feet, so we will use this unit. Now let's come to the main you can say objective of our lesson today. So in order to convert these units, let's say you are sitting in UK. Okay, and you want to communicate something with, let's say, any other country, let's say India. Okay, so in India they are using kilograms, grams, right, and they are using meters. And let's say in UK they are using units for measuring the weight as you can say pounds, okay, and they are also using feet, inches, right? So in order to communicate, okay, so in order to like see the units, okay, so we need a process which is we call unit conversion, okay. So an Indian can find how many feet are there in meters, or like in 1 meter how many feet are there. So that's the thing. So in order to do the unit conversion, we have some, you can say, values. You can see here, for mass they have written 1 kilogram equals to 2.205 lbm, right? Okay, so we have also one slug, okay, which is equals to 32.2 pound mass. 1 ton is equals to this much pounds, and so on. Okay, so we have units for lengths, like 1 meter equals to 3.28 feet, and similarly so on. Then we have time, like one day having 24 hours, 1 hour having 60 minutes, 1 minute has 60 seconds. Okay, so let's say you if you have area, okay, you are calculating the area, you are converting the units in the area. So you can see we have 1 acre which is equals to 4047 meters square, and so on, right? Feet square we also have miles square, right? And if you are calculating the volume, we have 1 liter equals to 0.264 gallons feet cube, okay, and so on. So here you can say the temperature unit conversions, okay. So let's say, and so on, we also have like for power, energy, okay, there are so many units conversion that we have. Now what we will gonna do, first of all we will see how we can convert a unit, okay, into another unit. Okay, let's say you have you have 1 feet, okay, and let's say you need to find this 1 feet. Okay, so let's take, you can say 1.5 feet, okay. You have 1.5 feet and you need to find it in meters, okay. Let's say in meters, like how many meters are there in 1.5 feet. So in order to find how many meters are there in 1.5 feet, we need to see this table, okay. We will first of all see, like, this is the length, right? Feet and meters. So we will go to the length, like, table. So in the length table we have 1 meter equals to 3.28 feet, okay. So we can write here, we can say 1 meter equals to 3.28 feet, okay. So now like, we need to find 1.5 feet, okay, in meters. So simple method is that what we will gonna do, we will first of all write the convert like the conversion just below it, right? So we will write feet, like 3.28 feet just below the feet where the feet is written. So we will gonna write 3.28 feet here, and you can see here we have written meters, right? We are saying x meters, okay. So we are saying 1.5 feet is basically equals to x meters. So we need to write 1 meter here, okay. Okay, so that's the thing. Now we are saying we need to find 1.5 feet into x meters, okay, and there are 3.28 feet in 1 meter. So in order to find this x, the value of this x, we will going to multiply, we will do the cross multiplication like this, okay. We will multiply 1.5 feet in cross multiplication. We will do multiply 1.5 feet by 1 meter, okay, multiply 1 meter, and we will going to write equal sign here, and then we will multiply this value with this value, right? This thing, we are doing the cross multiplication, okay. So 3.285 28 feet multiply by x meters, right? Here what we have done, we have just did the cross multiplication. Okay, so one we have just multiply 1.5 feet with 1 meter and 3.28 feet with x meters. Okay, and there is a equal sign in between them. Okay, so now we need to find this x meters, right? Let me just write it again here. 1.5 feet multiply by 1 meter equals to 3.28 feet multiply by x meters, right? So we need to find this x meters, right? So we will going to remove this 3.28 feet from here, right? So for in order to remove 3.28 feet, we need to divide both side by 3.28 feet, right? Can we do that, right? Yes, we can do that because we can multiply or divide anything on both side, right? So we are dividing both side by 3.28 feet, right? So this 3.28 feet will be cancelled by this 3.28 feet, and on the right hand side of the equal sign we will have x meters, and on the left hand side we have 1.5 feet multiply by 1 meter divided by 3.28 feet, right? So here you can see this feet will be cancelled by this feet now. Okay, because they are in the division, so we can cancel them. Feet divided by feet is 1, right? So I have cancelled the unit feet with feet. Only the unit which is left is meters, right? Now you can just multiply 1.5 multiply by 1 is 1.5, so 1.5 divided by 3.28, so 1.5 divided by 3.28, you need to do this, and we can write meters here, right? And there is nothing else on the left hand side. On the right hand side we have x. Okay, x meters. Okay, so you can write, or you don't need to write meter. Okay, now what we will going to do, we will divide 1.5 divided by 3.28. Whatever the value we will get, that value is basically equals to 1.5 feet. That is what we will let that is what we wanted to find, right? So let's say 1.5 divided by 3.28 is, so it is 0.457 meters. So in 1.5 feet, okay, x is 0.457 meters. So in 1.5 feet, I am writing here. Okay, so in 1.5 feet we have 0.457 meters. Are you getting what I'm saying? So this is your conversion now, like converted value. Okay, so this is how we find like the converted values. Okay, so if you didn't understand as of now, so don't worry about this. We will going to solve these questions and you will going to understand the phenomena of converting the units. Okay, so let's come back to the okay so let's come back to the okay so let's come back to the main questions that we have. Question number 56, they are saying a postage stamp has a square area of 1.875 inches square. Okay, so we have an area, okay, which is equals to 1.875 inches square. So we are writing inches square, okay, because it is an area, so we will going to write square. So inches square. What is the area in centimeter square? So are they are asking this area in centimeter square. Okay, they are saying what is the area in centimeter square. Okay, that is what we need to find. So we are saying we need to find 1.875 inches square in centimeter square. So we are saying for the assumption we are taking 1.875 inches square as x centimeter square. We are saying 1.875 is basically equals to x centimeter squares. Okay, so now we will quickly go to the table. We will see in the area whether we have inches square or centimeter squares or not. Okay, so in the area section we have meter square, we have feet square, we have miles square, but we don't have centimeter square. Okay, we don't have centimeter square. So like in order to calculate the area we can also see the length table as well. Okay, uh, why we are looking at the length table? Because we can convert the length into area by just taking the square. Okay, let me tell you how. So first of all we will look into the length table. We will see whether centimeter is written on or not. So you can see here centimeter is written, right, on the third row, and in this 2.54 centimeter is basically equals to 1 inches. Okay, so we can write it here. We are saying 1 inches from the table is equals to 2.54 centimeter. Okay, so this is the length. Okay, that is why it is just inches and just centimeter. We need to find the area. Okay, so what we will going to do, this is the length, so we will convert these lengths into area. We will take the square on both sides like this. Okay, so if you take the square on both sides, so 1 square will be 1 simply, and this inch will be converted into inches square. 1 inch square equals to 2.54, so you will take the square. 2.54 square, it is 6.45. Okay, 6.45, and you also need to take the square of centimeter, so you will write centimeter square here. So now you can see the length is converted into the area. Okay, so let me just remove this part now. Okay, and let me just write this 1 inches square here equals to 6.45 centimeter square. Okay, so you can see now like we have the conversion unit here. 1 inches square equals to 6.45 centimeter square. Now we can easily find the value of x. How? The method that we have discussed before, that method was cross multiplication. Okay, so we will do the cross multiplication here now, like this. And you need to remember one thing. Okay, like on the right hand side of both these equations, this is equation 1, this is equation 2, like this equation is 2. So in the right hand side of both the equations we have centimeter square. Okay, the units are same, right? So in order to do this cross multiplication you need to remember that both the sides have the same units. Okay, and in the like you can see on the left hand side we have inches squares, so of both the equations. Okay, so this is what you need to remember. Both sides like units of both the equations should be same. On the left hand side we have inches square, on the right hand side we have centimeter square. I'm repeating again and again just to make it clear. Okay, so now you do the cross multiplication. Okay, so let me just remove this. Okay, so now if we do the cross multiplication, so 1 inches square multiplied by x centimeter square, we will write here 1 inches square. We will multiply this thing with this thing, right? Because we are doing the cross multiplication. 1 inches square equals to x centimeter square. Okay, sorry, not equals to, we will write 1 inches square, we are doing multiplication, right? So 1 inches square multiply by x centimeter square. Okay, you can write it like this as well, centimeter square equals to, okay, we have 1.875 here. Now we need to multiply this thing by this thing, right? We are doing the cross multiplication, so 1.875 inches square multiply by 6.45 centimeter square. Okay, So you can see here, let me just write it again. Okay, very quickly. Okay, so you can see here 1 inches square multiplied by x centimeter square is equals to 1.875 inches square multiplied by 6.45 centimeter square. Okay, now we need to find this x, right? This x. Okay, so we need to remove this 1 inches square. Okay, so for that we will divide both side by 1 inches square. So let's divide the both sides by 1 inches square. Okay, so you can see here this inches square will be cancelled by this inches square because they both are dividing. So okay, both will be cancelled, and this one will be cancelled by this one. Simple. And then you can see on the right hand side we have inches square written here. We can cancel this inches square in the numerator by the inches square in the denominator. We can remove this, right? And like anything divided by 1 is just the same thing, right? So we need to cancel this one as well. Okay, so now we have x centimeter square, okay, is equals to, you can just multiply 1.875 by 6.45, that you will get you will get your value 12.096 cent. Okay, so you can see here everything is cancelled, just centimeter square is left, so I can write centimeter square here. Okay, so like both sides you don't need to write centimeter, so I'm removing the centimeter square from the left hand side. So this is your converted value. X is basically equals to 12.096 centimeter square. Okay, simple. So this is the answer of question number 56. And for question number 57, if I made a mistake anywhere, so you can just let me know about that after the lesson. Okay, so for question number 57, now let's do the question number 57. So in question number 57, you can see it is written 1 gallon of paint. We have a paint which is 1 gallon is expected to cover 400 square feet. Okay, so here it is written 400 square feet. Okay, good. So how many square meters is this? They're asking us in square meters, right? Square meters. The value is given in the square feet. We need to find it into square meters. So 400 square feet is equals to how many? You can say x. We are saying 400 square feet is x square meters. Okay, that is what we need to find. X is something we need to find. So x is the value which is, we are saying x square meters. So first of all we will going to write this. Okay, now second thing that we will going to see is the table. Okay, so now we will going to see what is the conversion values. Okay, we need to find the square meter and we have a value in square feet. So let's go to the area section. So it is written feet square here. Okay, so square feet meaning that square feet. So and square meters we also have written here, right? So it means we can use the area table now. Okay, okay, so in the area table they have written 1 acre is equals to 4047. Let me just write 1 acre here equals to 4047 square meters, right? And they are also saying 1 acre is also equals to this much feet square, right? So we can say 1 acre is also equals to 43560 square feet. Okay, you can write like this, and you can also write feet square like this. Okay, both are the correct way of writing. Okay, okay, so 1 acre is equals to 4047 square meters and 1 acre is equals to 43560 square feet. Okay, so it means that if 1 acre is equals to this much square meters and 1 acre is also equals to this much square feet, then these two values, square meters and this 43560 square feet, they both will be equal, right? Like if you say a equals to b and b is equals to c, like b is basically equals to a and b is also equals to c, it means a is also equals to c, right? Like for example, 4 is equals to 2 square, right? And b is basically 2 square, so 2 square is equals to 4. Okay, so 4 is equals to 4, right? That's the thing. So we are saying, okay, anyway, we need to see here 1 acre is equals to 4047 square meters, and 1 acre is also equals to 43560 square feet. So it means 43,560 square feet is equals to 4047 square meters, right? So this is the conversion we will going to use now. Okay, let me just remove all of them now. We are saying 43,560 square feet equals to 4047 square meters. Okay, now you can see here that I have written on both the sides, I have written the same units. Okay, like there are like two equations, this equation and this equation. So for both the equation I have written on the left hand side, I have written square feet. You can see here square feet here, square feet here, and on the right hand side we have x square meters, right? Square meters. I'm not writing for x because this is the variable, so you don't need to write, but x is basically in square meters. So both the sides, okay, on the right hand side both the values are in square meters. This is what you need to remember when you are doing the cross multiplication in order to find the converted unit. Okay, so for example, now we will going to do the cross multiplication now. Okay, for this, let me just do the cross multiplication now. So for cross multiplication, similarly we just do the cross multiplication like this. So x will be multiplied by this value, and this value will be multiplied 43,560 square feet is equal multiply by x equals to 400 multiply square feet. I'm writing like this. Okay, feet square multiply by 4047, and I'm writing meter square. Okay, both are the same thing. You can write square meter or meter square, both are the same thing. Okay, let me just remove this. Okay, now you can just do the multiplication. You can see here we don't need we need to find x, so we need to isolate this x. So in order to isolate, I need to divide both sides by this value, right? Because we need to cancel this value. So we can write 43,560 square feet. Here we can also write 43,560 square feet. So this value will be cancelled by this value, and you can do the okay. So on the left hand side we just have x now. On the right hand side we have 400 multiplied by 4,447. So let's multiply 400 multiplied by 4,047. So it is this value. Let me just write 100. Okay, so it is basically 16 lakhs 18,800. Okay, yes, I guess. Okay, so you can see feet square, like feet square is the same as square feet, so I can cancel this feet square by this square feet. Okay, and in the numerator we only left with meter square, right? I have multiplied 400 by 4047, so we will get this 1618800 divided by we have 43560. Okay, so divide this value by 43560, we will get 37.16 meter square. or square meters, both are the same thing, square meters. So you can see, first of all, we had a value in 400 square feet. Now we have a value in square meters. Okay, so that's the answer of question number 57. Let's do the question number 58 now. In question number 58, you can see, uh, express 12 feet 7 inches in decimal feet. Okay, 12 feet 7 inches in decimal feet. Okay, decimal feet. Basically, they are saying just write this whole value into just feet. You don't need to use the inches now. For that, okay, first of all, we need to see, like, this value. In this value, we have 12 feet. Okay, and we have an extra value which is 7 inches. So 12 feet is already in feet, right? It is already in feet. We need to convert this 7 inches also into feet. Okay, by doing that, by converting this inches into the feet, you will get overall value in only feet. Okay, you will get the overall value in feet. Okay, that's the thing. So we need to convert this value into feet, so let's just convert this 7 inches into feet now. So we need to find how many inches are there in 1 feet now. So let's go to the table quickly. So on in the table we have lengths. For that we can see feet here, feet is also written here, right? And okay, feet. Okay, so they have written 1 meter equals to 3.28 feet, 1 inches equals to 2.54 centimeter, you can see here, right? But they didn't tell us about the feet into inches, right? But I can tell you, like, in 1 feet, this is very common, you can remember this. 1 feet is equals to 12 inches. Maybe you already know about this, I don't know. Okay, so 1 feet equals to 12 inches. You can use this conversion. Okay, by using this conversion we can say, like, how many feet are there in 7 inches. For that, in order to do the cross multiplication, we need to write this 7 inches here. Okay, on the right hand side, because we need to write like the units on both the sides same. Okay, so we can write 7 inches here, and we can remove 7 inches from here. So we need to find x feet, right? So we will do the cross multiplication, like x feet is basically equals to 7 inches. Okay, do the cross multiplication, simple. X multiplied by 12 inches equals to 1 feet multiplied by 7 inches. Simple. So now you can see, on the left hand side we need to find x. Okay, so we will be going to divide this by 12 inches. Simple. Both sides 12 inches, because if you are dividing one side by 12 inches, you need to divide the other side by 12 inches as well. This is the math rule. So we can just cancel 12 inches from here, 12 inches from here. So on the left hand side you just left with x. On the right hand side we have so many things. Okay, so on the right hand side we have inches written here and also inches written here. You can, what you can do, you can just cancel this inches by this inches, right? And now you can see you have just feet left, okay, as a unit, so you can write feet here. Okay, and the numbers, we have 7 in the numerator and 12 in the denominator, so just divide 7 by 12. So what is 7 by 12? 7 by 12 is 0.583. So I can write 0.583 here. So you can see here, this value 0.583 feet is basically equals to 7 inches. Okay, but we have a value which is the value given in the question, which is 12 feet 7 inches. So only the 7 inches is equals to 0.583 feet. Okay, so we can write here 12 feet, and instead of writing 7 inches we will going to write 0.583 feet. And like both the units are in feet, you don't need to write them separately, you can just add them. 12 feet, 0.583 feet, you can add them, you will get what? 12.583 feet. So you can see this is a decimal feet. Okay, because you have a value in decimal point. Okay, 12.583 feet. So this is your overall answer, 12.583 feet. Let's read the next question, which is 59. Express 12 feet 7 inches in meters. Okay, we already know that 12 feet 7 inches is equals to 12.583 feet, right? We already know that 12 feet 7 inches is equals to 12.583 feet, right? Feet. So we don't need to convert 12 feet 7 inches again, but we need to convert this value 12.583 feet into meters, right? So we can say this value is equals to x meters. X meters. Okay, we are writing x because we need to find this value into meters. So we can say 12 feet 7 inches equals to how many meters, right? So instead of writing 12 feet 7 inches, we are writing 12.583 feet, because both are equal, both are same thing. 12.583 feet is the same thing as 12 feet 7 inches. So 12.583 feet is equals to how many meters? For that we will go to the table now. In the table we have, it is written here, you can see it in the first line, it is written 1 meter is equals to 3.28 feet. So this is the length table, you can say. You can see easily 1 meter is equals to 3.28 feet. So I can say 1 meter is equals to 3.28 feet. So you can ask me why I am not writing 1 meter is equals to 3.28 feet. Maybe you already know the answer, because I am writing this because I need to do the cross multiplication. For cross multiplication we need to write the same units on both the sides. So in the left hand side we have written feet, which is written already, so we need to write feet on the left hand side now. So I'm writing 3.28 feet is equals to 1 meter. This equation is from here. Okay, and the first equation that we have made on our own. Now you can just do the cross multiplication. So let me just remove this. Okay, do the cross multiplication. So if you do the cross multiplication, let me just write, I will going to multiply this value by this value. So I can write 3.28 feet multiply by x. Okay, x is the value that we need to find, which is in meters. Obviously that's the question. So 12.583 feet in multiply by this 1 meter, so I can write 12.583 feet. For feet I am writing ft. Okay, so feet multiply by 1 meter. Okay, we need to find this x, so we need to divide both sides by 3.28 feet. Okay, 3.28 feet, both sides by 3.28 feet. Okay, so this value will be cancelled by this value now. Simple. So on the left hand side what we have been left with, it is just x. Okay, and on the right hand side you can see here, here you can see this feet will be cancelled by this feet, right? Because both are in the division, so we can divide feet by feet, so it will be 1, so simply just cancel feet by feet. Okay, and do the calculation. 12.583 divided by 3.28, so you will get 3.84 almost, okay, and multiply by 1 meter, so that will be like 3.84 multiplied by 1 is simply 3.84, and you can write meters. Okay, so this value 3.84 meters is basically equals to 12.583 feet. Okay, or you can say it is equals to you can say 12 feet and 7 inches, right? Simple. So 12 feet 7 inches is basically equals to 3.84 meters. Okay, is it clear up till now? So we can go to the question number 60 now. So in question number 60, you can read, including the end zones, a football field is 120 yards long. Okay, how many meters long is this? So a value is given in yards, we need to find that in meters. Okay, so first of all let me just remove all of the writings. So it is written in yards, so let me just write 120 yards. It is 120 yards long, okay, and they are asking how many meters long is this. So we can say it is equals to like 120 yards equals to x meters, x meters. Okay, that's the thing. So let's see now in the length section, we will go to the length section because it is the length, so we will go to the length section. We can see 1 yard is written here in the last row. 1 yard, 1 yd, yd is basically yard, so 1 yard is equals to 3 feet, so I can write it here. 1 yard is equals to 3 feet. Okay, and you can like here it is not written yards into meters, so we don't have a conversion for yard into meter. But how we will going to do this question now? So in order to do this question, we can basically use, first of all we will going to convert this yard into feet. Okay, 120 yards into feet, we will going to convert yard into feet. Okay, and then we can convert this feet into meters. Why I am saying this, why we are doing two steps? Because we need to find yard into meter, and there is no unit for yard into meter, but uh, yard into feet is given and feet into meter is given. So first of all we will going to convert the yards into feet, and then we will convert the feet into meters. Simple. So let's do the first step. Convert the yards into feet. Okay, so there are 120 yards, we need to convert into feet. Okay, so we are saying it is y feet. Okay, y feet. So in the table it is written 1 yard is equals to 3 feet, right? So we can write it here, 1 yard is equals to 3 feet. Okay, just do the cross multiplication simply and find the feet, y feet. Okay, cross multiplication and find the y feet. So if you just write, so you get, if you just write this 1 yard multiplied by y feet equals to 120 yards multiplied by 3 feet. Okay, so you can just do the division. So we need to remove this 1 yard, so just divide 1 yard on both side. Okay, simply this will be cancelled by this. Here you can write 1 yard, so this yard will be cancelled by this yard. Okay, simply on the left hand side we have y feet. Okay, and on the right hand side we have 120 multiplied by 3, which is you can write 3 to 6 360 and feet you can say. So we have find the value, we are saying 120 yards is equals to how many feet? How many feet? 360 feet, right? Let's now convert this feet into meters. That's the final answer, okay? We need to just find the value in meters. So now let's convert 360 feet into what? Meters. So let's do the last step. Okay, so last step says 360 feet is equals to how many meters? So I'm saying it is equals to x meters. Okay, let's change the color. And okay, now let's go to the table. In the table we have been given with the meters and feet conversion, which is written here. You can see 1 meter is equals to 3.28 feet. So I can write it again here. 3.28 feet is equals to 1 meter. Simply do the cross multiplication, okay, like this. And 300, like you can write 3.28 feet multiply by x is equals to 360 feet multiply by 1 meter. Okay, like we need to find x, so we need to isolate x. For that we need to divide both sides by 3.28 feet. 3.28 feet. So this 3.28 feet on the left hand side will be cancelled by this 3.28 feet. Okay, so on the left hand side you are left with only x. So I can write on the left hand side x is equals to, so on the right hand side we need to divide, we need to multiply and divide. So 360 first of all multiply by this 1, which is again 360. 360 divided by 3.28. So just do the division. 360 divided by 3.28. So it is equals to 109.76. Okay, so 109.76. Okay, so here on the right hand side you can see feet will be cancelled by this feet. Okay, and only the meters will be left. Only the meters will be left. So you can write meter here, m for meters. So this is your value. So we are saying that 120 yards is equals to how many meters? 109.76 meters. Or you can say 120, if someone asks you in feet, so you can also say 120 yards is also equals to 360 feet. Okay, so we have for question number 60 we have done both the conversions. Okay, now let's go back to the question number 61. So in question number 61 it is written how many liters are in 1.25 gallons. Simple question. They are just asking you how many liters equals to 1.25 gallons. So you can say it is just 1.25 gallons equals to x liters. No, you need to find the value, right? So we are saying it is like 1.25 gallons is basically x liters. So okay, so I am writing 1.25 gallons equals to x. Simple. So let's find what is the value of x. Just go back to the table now. So in the table, like which unit is this? Is this area? Is this the mass? Gallons? Like gallon is the unit of the mass or length or time? Like what? Like which value or which you can say unit it is representing to? So you can see in the table it is representing to volume. Gallons are mostly used for the volumes. Okay, so in the volume section you can see here GAL. So GAL means gallon. Okay, so it is written 1 liter is equals to 0.264 gallons. So you can write it here. 1 liter. For liter we are writing L. So 1 L is equals to how many gallons? 0.264 gallons. For gallons we are writing GAL. Simple. They are asking you, they are not asking you about 0.264 gallons. They are asking you for 1.25 gallons. Okay, they are asking how many like liters are there in 1.25 gallons. So on the left hand side we can write x. We don't know. So if we don't know, so we can write x. So 1 liter is equals to 0.264 gallons and x liter is equals to 1.25 gallons. Again, just do the cross multiplication. Okay, do the cross multiplication. So if we do the cross multiplication, what we will going to get, you need to find it out. Just pause the video, find the value of x. Okay, so let me just do now. So x multiplied by 0.264 gallons is equals to 1 liter multiplied by 1.25 gallons, right? So we need to find again x. X is the liters that we need to find. So on the left hand side it is x multiplied by 0.264 gallon. So left hand side, so we need to divide left hand side by 0.264 gallon. So if we are dividing one side by something, so we need to divide the right hand side by that value again. Okay, so 0.264 gallon. So just cancel this gallon with this gallon. Okay, and this 0.264 by this 0.264, because they are in the division, so you can divide them. Okay, so on the left hand side it is just x multiplied by nothing. Okay, so you can say x is equals to, on the right hand side you have 1 liter multiplied by 1.25 gallon divided by 0.264 gallon. So just cancel this gallon first of all with this gallon. Okay, so both the gallons are cancelled, and now do the multiplication. This 1 multiplied by 1.25, what it will be? It will be simply 1.25, and you can write L. L means liters. Okay, divided by, in the denominator what you have? You have 0.264. Can I write the gallon in the denominator? No, we will not going to write that because it is already cancelled. Okay, so just divide 1.25 by 0.264, so it is 4.73. Okay, and which unit I am going to use here? It is L, right? It is liters, so I can write L here. So it is simple. We can see that in 1.25 gallons we have 4.73 liters, right? So this is the answer of your question number 61. We need to just find the value of 1.25 gallons, and we have converted 1.25 gallons into 4.73 liters by using a conversion which was 1 liter is equals to 0.264 gallons. Okay, it is written here. We have used this unit conversion. 1 liter is equals to 0.264 gallon, which is written in the table in the volume section. Here you can see. Okay, so, and by using this conversion 1 liter is equals to 0.264 gallon, we have find our answer 4.73 liters. Clear? And then now let's go to the question number 62, which is the last question, and then we will end our lesson for today. Okay, so like let me just tell you, if you don't understand anything, okay, so you can just ask me about it and I will going to explain that again. Okay, that's not a problem because I don't know whether you are understanding it or not. Okay, so you can ask me that question and I will going to answer. So in question number 62, they are asking us how many centimeter cube are in 1 cubic foot. Okay, how many centimeter cube in equals to 1 cubic foot. Okay, so you can write 1 feet cube. Okay, so this is the thing we need to find. So we need to see, is this a unit of length? Which unit of, like, is this centimeter cube, feet cube? Like, if your guess is correct, so it is the unit of volume. Defining the unit of the volume, we need to use cube, centimeter cube, feet cube, inches cube, centimeter cube, okay, and so on. And we also use liters, gallons for volume in order to represent volume. Okay, so now in the volume section, we will go to this volume section. Okay, so in the volume section we have, do we have centimeter cube or do we have feet cube? So in the in the volume section we have feet cube written here. Okay, so we can write it outside. We can say 0.0353 feet cube is equals to how many liters? It is equals to 1 liter. Okay, so let's say 1 liter is equals to 0.0353 feet cube. Okay, so but this is not the centimeter cube, right? So there is a problem. We need to find in centimeter cube. Okay, so feet cube, the conversion is written by 1 liter. So we need to see whether is there any unit which are useful in our case. So you can see here 1 ml is equals to 1 centimeter cube, like 1 milliliter, which is like milliliter is basically related to the liters, right? So I can write it here, 1 ml milliliter is equals to 1 centimeter cube. Okay, basically they are saying centimeter cube is equals to milliliter. Okay, they are just saying us this. Like, if you write anything in, let's say you are writing 20 centimeter cube, so it is the same thing as 1 milliliter, sorry, 20 milliliter. Let's say if you are saying 400 centimeter cube, it is the same thing as 400 milliliter. Okay, so both units are equal. Okay, sorry, let's come back to the question. In the question they were asking us how many centimeter cube are there in 1 feet cube. Okay, so we don't have a conversion for converting feet into centimeter cube, so that's a problem. So first of all we will convert. What we will going to do, because it is written here, so first of all we will going to convert feet cube into what? Into centimeter cube? No, we don't have a conversion for that. We will first of all convert feet cube into liters, so we can say liters. Okay, and then we will convert this liter into what? Milliliter. That's the thing. It is very simple. Okay, it is very simple to convert liter into milliliter, and then we will convert this milliliter into centimeter cube finally. Okay, we don't need to convert because milliliter is the same thing as centimeter cube, right? We have already seen that, because 1 milliliter equals to 1 centimeter cube, so they both are the same unit. If someone is writing milliliter, so it means you can also write centimeter cube, both are the same thing. Okay, so the main thing here is to convert feet cube into liters. Okay, for now forget about centimeter cube, just remember we are converting we are converting feet cube into liters. Okay, so how many, we need to find how many 1 feet cube is equals to how many liters. How many liters? Okay, we know the conversion. Okay, we know the conversion, which is 1 liter is equals to 0.0353 feet cube. Okay, So here you can by using this conversion you can find the value of liters. Okay, so by how you can just do the cross multiplication now, and you will find your answer in liters. Okay, how? Let's say if I just do the cross multiplication, so I will get 1 feet cube multiply by 1 liter. So this question mark I am writing, let's say uh, for this I am writing x. Okay, let me just write x here, x here, x liters. Okay, you don't need to write L here because I am assuming x is in liters. Okay, so okay, so 1 feet cube multiply by 1 liter, cross multiplication. Similarly this value will be multiplied by this value on the other side of the equal sign. So x multiplied by 0.0353 feet cube. Okay, so we need to find the x. We need to divide both sides by 0.0353 feet cube. Divide this also by 0.0353 feet cube, right? So you can see this thing will be cancelled by, on the right hand side will be cancelled by this thing. Okay, this feet cube will be cancelled by this feet cube, simple. And on the right hand side you just left with x. On the right hand side it is written x only. Okay, so you can write, I'm writing from here. Okay, x. On the left hand side you have 1 multiplied by 1 L, it means 1 liter. Okay, you can write it here, 1 liter divided by 0.0353, and feet cube is already cancelled, so we don't need to write. Just do the division, 1 divided by 0.0353, so it is 28.3. Okay, so x is basically equals to 28.3 liters. Okay, liters. So we are saying that 1 feet cube, because we have converted 1 feet cube into liters, so we are saying that 1 feet cube is equals to, let me just write it here, we are saying that 1 feet cube is equals to 28.3 liters. Okay, let me just remove all of them. 1 feet cube is equals to 28.3 liters. That is what we have find by using the method that we call cross multiplication. 1 feet cube is equals to 28.3 liters. Now it is very simple to convert this 28.3 liters into ml, milliliter. How? Because we know that in 1 liters, okay, we know that in 1 liter we have 1000 milliliter. Okay, in 1 liter we have 1000 milliliter. Okay, so just do the cross multiplication again and find out your value in ml. Okay, so remove this 1 feet cube and write y, let's say y here, because we are converting 28.3 liter into milliliter, so we are saying it is 28.3 liters is equals to y milliliter. Okay, y milliliter. Just do the cross multiplication now. So if you do the cross multiplication you will get your value. So let's say, okay, let me just explain this thing again with you. Okay, so first like we have find out 1 feet cube is equals to 28.3 liters. Okay, is it clear up till now? So if it is clear, then we can say we have a value in liter, right? We have a value 28.3 liter. We need to find this in ml. Okay, milliliter. How many milliliter are there? So I am saying it is y milliliter. Okay, y milliliter, y ml. So we know the conversion. We say 1 liter is equals to 1000 milliliter. Okay, this is, you need to remember, 1 liter is equals to 1000 milliliter. Now do the cross multiplication simply, and you will find your value. So if you do the cross multiplication, so you will get a value y is equals to 28.3. When you multiply this by 1000, you will get 28,300. Okay, and you will get milliliter. So we have 28,300 milliliter. You will say, like, we don't need to find the value in milliliter. The question is asking to find the value in centimeter cube. So basically the milliliter is the same thing as centimeter cube. So we can just say, we can just remove this ml, we can write it here centimeter cube. Okay, so this is it. In this question, how many centimeter cube are in 1 cubic foot? So for that, we just, what we have done, we have looked into the volume section. In the volume section, we saw that there is no conversion written for converting cubic feet or cubic foot into centimeter cube. So what we have done, we have converted the feet cube into liters first of all, and then we have converted liter into centimeter cube. Simple. Okay, we have done the question in 2 steps because we don't have the conversion given in the table. So for that, we just converted feet cube into liters, and then liters into centimeter cube, because ultimately our answer that we wanted to find was in centimeter cube. So simply just convert the feet cube into liters, because the conversion is given in the table. 1 liter is equals to 0.0353 feet cube, here you can see. And after converting the feet cube into liters, then convert the liters into milliliter. Okay, and milliliter is the same thing as centimeter cube. Clear? So that's the thing. So in this question, we have done the unit conversions by using the conversions given in the table. Okay, and we have also discussed, if you don't have the unit in the area section, first of all, for example, if you don't have a value or a conversion in the area section, you can convert the length into area. How? You can just take the square root, sorry, you can just take the square on both sides. So you, by taking the square on both the sides, you can convert the length into area. So in one of the question we were solving, in that particular question we don't have area unit. So for that we have converted the length conversion by taking the square on both sides into the area conversion. So that is how we do the unit conversion, and there are so many unit conversions given in their tables. They have also written for power, pressure, rotational speed, energy, and so on. So for these questions, this is it. I hope you have understand all the concepts, and thank you so much for listening to me for so long. Thank you. Have a good day.